Why it's taking too long? I'll just post it. I just want to get set up. Rock and roll. Fucking pouches anymore.
Ancient problems, modern solutions.
Insta-kill.
Richtofen was prepared to kill his own father for the artifact. As if controlling the Dark Ether wasn't enough for him.
Some people are never satisfied. I believe you call them douchebags.
It's dangerous. And dark. If there ain't any better ideas, I got my ears on.
Oh, which way? It's taking so long.
Bonus point.
Let's see how this works. Oh, it's pretty good. Show you what else.
After 3 long laborious days at damn some say life is about the journey, not the destination, to which I retort, metal steps and plateaus. And more apprentice. Onward! Through the door to nowhere!
I never liked spiders, but this shit is on another level.
Max ammo.
Good shit, bro.
Up close and very personal. Sorry.
Max armor.
Honestly, you don't want to right now. Please. Okay. You don't feel halfway through that. Wait, did I delete those pictures? Yeah.
Nobody tell the Soviet Olympic team about this stuff.
Just gonna get this deleted. Hopefully the golden arm is
Double points.
what the fuck is this?
Tops the list of most traumatizing shit I've seen today. Shattered another bone brain. Show some respect for your elders.
Bonus points.
Yeah, let's see what we will. You fuck off.
That's the way it's done.
Oh boy. Easy boy.
See that? A face only a bullet could love. Fuck you, you ugly walking cactus.
Max armor.
Don't know if this way to go. Give it a go. You know what I'm saying, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Max ammo.
If one isn't very much mistaken, and I assure you one really rather rarely is, this smithy thing right here is the head of the Staff of Ice.
Welcome to the future, asshole.
Hate this one for the place. I'm gonna use this. Oh. Oh my god, bro.
Just check my service record.
Jumping in first with Juggernog, there are two major augments which a lot of people are going to be stuck between, and it's either reactive armor or probiotic. Now, probiotic slightly increases your max health with Juggernog from 250 to 300. Reactive armor is, without question, the biggest game changer for this perk. The way this augment works is that every single time you break one piece of your armor, the entire zombie horde will be stunned. And this will happen every time you lose an armor plate. And once you've replated, if you lose an armor plate again, this effect will instantly keep repeating itself. As for the minor augments, I strongly recommend you combine this with hardened plates. So your armor plates have more damage mitigation, meaning that they will last longer. Jumping in first with Juggernog, there are
Professor Croft indicated the Sentinel artifact is somewhere in the tunnels below you.
I'm going to show you how you can get a free self-revive and Lightman ammo mod for you and everybody in your squad on the Black Ops 6 map, The Tomb. You can do these in any particular order that you like, but there are 10 vases that you need to locate and find around the map. The first one right here in the spawn room and near the PhD machine right above the door on the right-hand side. Go ahead, locate that, and shoot that. The next one in the spawn room is going to be located right above the Rampage Inducer right above there, and you're going to go ahead and shoot that mod. The third one from the spawn room can be located right above where the blue door would spawn, or the Dark Ether right near this statue. Come on right to the top, aim up here, and shoot that third pod. Now I'm going to start from the right-hand side of the map and wrap around, but again, you can do this in any particular order. So in this room right here, where this mystery box typically spawns, if you look outside this window right there, you can see a pod right behind there. Continuing down the right-hand side, the very next room you come to, right above the doorway, will be another pod. There are 3 pods in the large underground area by where Quick Revive and the red door is. The first one's going to be located right near this hole in the top. It can be difficult to see at times with the light, but you can go ahead, aim up, and shoot that one. The other one is going to be located right above the red door right behind you. And next can be found just to the left of Quick Revive, right on top, right over here.
That's right, lads. Put your backs into it. Our quarry lies beyond
15 hits to go down. However, your armor is going to break after 10 hits. So this means in order to get the maximum effect of this 15 hits to down, you're going to need to replate at least 1 or 2 armor plates, so that way your armor doesn't break and then the zombies are dealing whatever crazy wacky damage, 90 damage that they're doing at round 50. Does that make sense? This is so fun. Now, if you're running something like reactive armor and durable plates, this is the downside to that, because, you know, you're not getting the increased damage mitigation. So at round 30 here, 30 to 50 with a 3-plate. Juggernog does not work the way you think. There are secret downsides of certain augments, as well as some hidden bonuses of certain augments. Not to mention a certain augment combination that can allow you to take over 50 hits before you go down. There are things about Jug I have seen no one else cover. So get ready to have your mind blown because I got the stats and way too many graphs. And this is how Juggernog actually works. And as always with these analytical videos, be sure to use the chapters below to skip to whatever section you're most interested in, or to the end for the final results. As always, this enormous spreadsheet you're about to see will be also linked in the description. This is by far the biggest perk augment test I've ever done. This took me like most of this week to test out, to play all these games, and there's a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Starting with the easiest major augment, Probiotic. Slightly increased maximum health with Juggernog. Pretty simple, your base health is 150. When you buy Juggernog by default, it goes to 250. With Probiotic, it'll be 300. Nothing too crazy there. We're going to skip all the way down to a minor augment called Retaliation, which says it will deal bonus damage while health is low. Luckily enough, that is exactly what it does. It will increase your damage output by 50% when you are at 50% or less health. This is surprisingly powerful, and that 50% health does change whether you have Jug or Probiotic. The way you know you're at 50% health is when you hear that sound cue and when your heartbeat starts being audible. In previous games, that sound cue was used when you were one hit away from being down, but now it's used to let you know, hey, you're at half health, and that retaliation can kick in. And 50% increased damage is stronger than Deadshot. It's actually really good. That being said, in terms of practicality, when you're in a situation where you're at 50% health, you're probably not looking at dealing the most damage you possibly can. You're probably looking at trying to get out of whatever situation got you into being at 50% or less health. However, if you are cornered or in a really bad situation, this little thing, this retaliation, could actually help you deal enough damage to get out of that. That is, if the other minor augments weren't so powerful. In any other perk, this would have been a fantastic augment, but in Jug, both of the other augments just outshine this by far. And now we get to talk about everybody's favorite major augment, Reactive Armor. When an armor plate breaks, nearby normal enemies are stunned for a short time. Again, this one's pretty box standard. You will stun enemies for 2 seconds in a range of about 5 meters. It was really hard to test, it was really hard to see because, you know, you're ported up, but it was at least 3 to 5 meters. I'm pretty confident in the 5 meters though. And yes, unfortunately, I did test this against like Doppelgast and Manglers and Abominations, and no, they didn't get stuck. Now, what's cool about this is that this is basically Widow's Wine or Winter's Wail from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. So many people love this because it makes them feel safer, which is true. It does make you safer. If you get yourself in a bad situation and a zombie hits you and it breaks an armor plate, then all of the zombies within a 5 meter radius are going to be stunned. That being said, if you're in a bad situation, then you're probably looking to get away from all of those enemies within that 5 meter radius. And when you're running away from all of the zombies that, you know, actually hit you, that means you're running into zombies that aren't actually stunned by your reactive armor. So much like Retaliation, it's kind of this catch-22 where it will save you by stunning the zombies that are closest to you, as it should. But in terms of practicality, you're going to be running away from them unless you're doing a camping strategy with a light sword or just a melee weapon. You're going to be running away from zombies who are stunned, in which case you should probably just want to choose some of the other minor or major augments. But this really is kind of personal preference and your play style. Personally, for me, Juggernog is all about how many hits I can take before I go down, which transitions us beautifully into Hardened Plates. Hardened Plates say that armor plates have more damage mitigation. This damage mitigation, and especially the armor durability, is what took this video so long. Every single tier of armor has a different damage mitigation and has a different durability. And so I had to play so many games going all the way to round 50 with just one armor plate, and then I would test how much damage that one armor plate mitigated. I would test, you know, I'd buy a tier 2 armor plate, see how much damage I was taking. I'd buy a tier 3 armor plate, see how much damage I was taking at all of these different rounds with all of these different armor plates. And I've seen people struggle a little bit with the concept of damage mitigation, so I'm going to try to use mitigation and absorption interchangeably. For example, in rounds 1 through 10, zombies are going to deal 30 damage if you don't have armor. If you have a 1 plate equipped and any armor within that 1 plate, you are only going to take 17 damage, which means that this armor plate is absorbing or mitigating 13 points of this 30 damage. And you can see with the 2 plate, it's absorbing 17 hits of this 30 hits. With a 3 plate, it's absorbing 19 damage of this 30 damage. So mitigation, absorption, kind of interchangeable here. I'm going to use them interchangeably. So I used this information and then I extrapolated all of the different possibilities that we could have with Juggernog, and I converted it to hits to down. Again, for example, in rounds 1 through 10, if you don't have any armor, the zombies are dealing 30 damage, you are a 5 hit down. With any armor, you're 9 hits, and if you manage to somehow buy a 3-plate vest before round 10, you are a 14 hit to down before round 10. Without Juggernog, I should say, without Juggernog. With Juggernog, if you buy a 3-plate vest before round 10, you're 23 hit, and if you have Probiotic, which increases your base health to 300, and you buy a tier 3 plate, you will be a 28 hit to down before round 10. Now, buying a tier 3 plate before round 10 is kind of a feat. You need to like forego like Pack-a-Punch and other perks and just buy Jug and just buy the tier 3 armor. It's not that big of a deal. So whenever you see some ridiculous numbers, that's hit, nudge, nudge, no, it's not as crazy as it seems. And so I figured out with all of these numbers, I figured out that at its base, tier 1 armor will mitigate 44% of damage, tier 2 will absorb 58% of damage, and tier 3 will mitigate 64% of damage. However, with hardened plates, this increases differently for different tiers. This increases this to 60% absorption for tier 1, so better than tier 2 armor with just tier 1 with this augment. 72% damage mitigation with tier 2, and then with tier 3, 78% of damage is going to be absorbed with a tier 3 plate. So I did the calculations again, and here we have the new numbers for damage mitigation hardened plates for Jug. Now, you're going to start seeing some pretty fun stuff. For example, zombie damage before round 10. If we're mitigating 78% with our hardened plates with a tier 3 plate, we're only taking 7 damage from this 30. And if we have Probiotic on, that means we're a 43 hit to death. It's pretty crazy, but like I said, that tier 3 plate before round 10 is pretty difficult to achieve. What is more common, though, is this second damage range here, 11 to 30, only dealing 11 damage. And if